This covers section 3.2 for Math 111. Equations in two variables are just an equation with an equal sign that have two different letters. For example, y equals 2x. We have y and x and an equal sign. It's an equation in two variables. 3x plus 2y, equation in two variables. Z equals t squared, equation in two variables. That's all we're talking about. Ordered pairs are typically x and y. They go back with what we just talked about in 3.1. It's a solution if it makes the equation true. So to test it, we plug it in. If our points go x comma y, we would plug 1 in for x, 5 in for y. So I take this equation. Instead of y, I write 5. Instead of x, I write 1. And then I do the math. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Both of those 5 equals 5. That's a true statement. So 1 comma 5 is a solution. Let's try the other one. Remember x, y. So 4 equals 3 times 3 plus 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. That is not true, so it's not a solution. That's all you're going to do when you're checking. Determine whether. So these three are the same thing. Gives you a point, you plug them in. Pause the video and try them. Watch me do another one and then pause the video. It's up to you, but see how you did. First one, 4 equals 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3 equals 4. So yes. The second one, 2 times 1/2 minus -4 equals 5. 2 times a half, we do top times top. So 2 times 1 is 2. Bottom times bottom. 1 times 1 is 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. When we subtract a negative, that's really adding. It's like saying taking away the fact that I owe money. So it's like saying 1 plus 4 is 5, which it is. So this is also a solution. Now the last one, -4 times -5 plus 5 times 1 equals 20. Negative times a negative is a positive. So 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5. 20 plus 5 is 25, which is not 20. So it's not a solution. A table is another way to find solutions. You just plug the x values in, solve for y, and that's a way to list a bunch of solutions at once. If I were to do this first equation, I would say -2 plus y equals 5. To get the 2 on the other side, we add y equals 7. So I put a 7 in here. -1 plus y equals 5. Add 1 to both sides. Y equals 6. Do the same thing with 0. 0 plus y equals 5, which means y equals 5. 1 plus y equals 5. Now that the number's positive, I'm going to subtract it to move it. So I get 4. And if I did the same thing with 2, I would get 3. Now we have a bunch of solutions. 2 comma 7, -2, 7, -1 comma 6, 0, 5, 1, 4, 2, 3. You try the other one. 2 times -4 minus 3. 2 times -4 is -8. -8 minus 3 is -11. Do it again with the -2. 2 times -2 is -4. Minus 3 is -7. -7. Then with the 0, 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 3 is -3. And 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 3 is 1. Now we have points there. Last one on this page. This time they give us the y's. We do the same exact thing. We're just plugging them in for y's. So 5x plus 2 times 0 equals 10. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, so that's going to go away. 5x equals 10. To undo the multiplication, we divide by 5. X equals 2. Now we're going to do the same thing, but for the 5. So 5x plus 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 5 is 10. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. 5x equals 0. Divide by 5. And 0 divided by anything is 0. 10. So, 5x plus 2 times 10 equals 10. 2 times 10 is 20. We're going to subtract 20 from both sides. 5x equals negative 10. Divide by 5. And we get x equals negative 2. And we'll do the one more with the 15. So 5x plus 2 times 15 equals 10. 2 times 15 is 30. Subtract 30 to get the x alone. 5x equals negative 20. Divide by 5, and we get negative 4. So that's solving it by testing a point. That's solving it by using tables. Now we can create a table and use that table to graph. So we're going to just pick 3 or 4 numbers for x to plug in and see what we get. I typically like doing a negative, 0, and a positive, but you can technically do any numbers you want. If I did negative 1, 0, and 1, we could plug those in. So 1/2 times negative 1 minus 1 is going to give us 1 point. So half of negative 1 is negative 1/2. Minus 1 is negative 1.5, or negative 1.5. So I can plot that point. Negative 1, negative 1.5. Now I'm going to do it with 0. 1/2 times 0 is 0. Minus 1 is negative 1. So 0, negative 1 is a point. I'm going to do it with positive 1. 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. Minus 1 is negative 1/2, or negative 0.5. So we do 1, negative 0.5. Those are really close together. That's enough for me to draw a line, but maybe I want to try one more. Maybe I want to try 4. So half of 4 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 4, 1 is a point. If I draw the line, it goes through all the points. So I did that by just picking numbers and plugging them in. If we try the other one, again, you can pause the video or you can keep going. So negative 1, 0, 1. If I plug negative 1 plus y equals 4, add 1 to both sides, y equals 5. So negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it with 0. 0 plus y equals 4, which means y equals 4. So 0, 4 is a point. Do it with 1. 1 plus y equals 4. Subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals 3. 1, 3. And now we have our line. And anything on that line is going to be a solution. Last thing is how to do it on your graphing calculator. Your calculator will graph for you. The biggest thing is you have to make it say y equals. You have to solve for y. Once you do that, we can put it in the y equals menu and graph it. So to make this one solve for y, we're going to move the x to the other side. So 2y equals 10 minus 5x, because they're not like terms. To get the y alone, we're going to divide everything by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 5 divided by 2 is negative 5 over 2. So now we have this equation, 5 minus 5 over 2x. So I take my graphing calculator. I hit the y equals button, which is that top left. If I have things in there, I can just hit clear to get rid of them. I'm also going to change something really quick, but you shouldn't have to do this. Okay, so I'm just going to type 5 minus, in parentheses, 5 over 2, x. X is right next to the green alpha button. Now I have the equation in there. If I hit graph, we still see those points because we had zoomed before. If I want to zoom to a standard 10 by 10 window, I'm going to hit the zoom button and I'm going to choose 6 for zoom standard. That brings us to the 10 by 10 window. Sorry. And there I have that line. So there's lots of different ways that you can do that. You try this other one. Pause the video, check it out, see how you do. Subtract 4x from both sides. So I have negative 3y equals 12 minus 4x. I'm going to divide by negative 3 to get the y alone. So I get y equals 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. And negative 4 divided by negative 3 is positive 4/3 x. Click y equals. And type negative. And on this calculator, down at the bottom, you have the little negative sign. Use that for negative. And then the minus over here for subtraction. Otherwise, you'll get an error. So negative 4 plus, in parentheses, 4/3 x graph. There's that line. That is 3-2. Let me know if you have any questions.